In the presidential suite of the Hotel Finest, a Hunt Corporation hotel, Nora scrolled through her cell phone after putting Cherry to bed. She already had 7 or 8 missed calls from her family. On returning the first call, she was greeted with an angry tirade from her father. "Nora, what are you doing? Why aren't you picking up? You were the one who made all this fuss about breaking off the engagement. Get over here and stop wasting everyone's time. Your younger sister and Anthony have got something good going, don't ruin it." It was impossible for Nora's father to let go of the Greys after climbing the social ladder and establishing a connection to such a prestigious family. That was why he had refused to break off the engagement between Anthony and Nora all these years. But now the Greys had finally relented and agreed to let Nora's half-sister marry into the family instead. The two families had reached an agreement. It was all the same to Nora's father, as long as one of his daughters married Anthony. Nora said lightly, "I'll come over now." She entrusted Cherry to Mrs. Lewis, the nanny that had travelled with them to the US, and went out. While she was waiting for the elevator, she heard some soft footsteps behind her. She turned to see a child dressed in grey silk pyjamas, with tousled short hair, standing in the elevator lobby and looking around with sleepy eyes. Her daughter had short hair, and her exquisite, adorable facial features made it hard to distinguish whether she was a boy or a girl. And when they were living abroad, Cherry would always give Nora a hug every time she went out. It seemed perfectly normal for her daughter to come and wave her off. So Nora didn't think much about it. She just squatted down as she always did and hugged and kissed the child on the forehead. Although her voice was low, it was gentle. "I'll bring you some chocolate mousse cake tonight, baby. Go back to your room now." Her daughter's usually quick-witted eyes became dazed for a moment. Nora figured she was probably so sleepy that she had turned silly. Then she nodded and turned around and walked away. They were staying on the top floor of the hotel in a luxury presidential suite. There was only one other suite on the same level. Apart from the one Nora and her daughter were currently booked into, it was said that the Hunts kept the other suite free for their own use, so it was not open to guests. Nora figured there was not likely to be anyone staying there. The elevator chimed as it arrived. Nora went in right away. She was gone so quickly that she didn't see the door to the other presidential suite opening. A tall, striking figure walked out. The man's back was to the elevator entrance. His voice was low and deep, and he had an imposing aura that was hard to ignore. He ordered the child, "Go back to your room, Pete." 5-year-old Pete Hunt, the only grandson of the family, was still staring in the direction of the elevator. The soft hug and the kiss on the forehead had made him blush uncontrollably. Pete's face scrunched up tightly. He had been brought up strictly ever since he was a baby. Every one of his meals was carefully created to give him the best possible nutritional value. But a strong desire suddenly emerged in the boy, who had always been taught to exercise such strong self-control. He announced, "I want to eat some chocolate mousse cake." Justin Hunt was bemused by the child's response. He picked him up and carried him back into their suite in one arm. Exuding an icy aura that many people found intimidating, Justin walked over to his computer and continued the video conference he had been in the middle of. The person on the screen gave him their report. "Mr. Hunt, we've confirmed that Athena has indeed returned to the States. On top of that, we've just secured a photograph of her. It didn't come cheap either. I'll send it to you right away." Justin's thin lips parted slightly and he coldly spat out 2 words. "Find her." It was brightly lit at the Smiths' villa. Outside the door, Nora listened as the digital lock repeated its "input error" voice line, her lips curling up in a mocking smile. The password had been changed and no one had even bothered to tell her. She lowered her eyes emotionlessly, raised her cell phone and tapped it a few times. Then she pasted on the digital lock. A few seconds later, the door opened with a click. There was a lively atmosphere in the living room. Seeing the gathered crowd, Nora realized she had just walked into a birthday party for her younger half-sister, Angela Smith. No one had noticed her come in, so Nora found a sofa in the corner and sat down intending to rest for a while. But soon she heard a low cry drift in from the deck outside. It was Nora's cousin, Lisa Black. Angela had never liked Lisa. She had always been on good terms with Nora, whom Angela to help you with it.
To find out what happens next, download the Pocket FM app and listen to the audio series Saving Nora for free.